Hey everybody, welcome to a conversation on First Kings. We're in week 10. We've missed some things. We missed last week.
Yeah, we missed last week.
And then the two previous were posted randomly.
Yeah, I think I recorded them on a tape player.
You used a fancy microphone for one.
That one sounded nice.
Did it? And that was just us.
Yep.
What's a tape player?
We're like 2/3 of the way through First Kings.
I think we're further than that, actually.
Yeah.
We're into Elijah. We're
almost there. We're ready for Second Kings.
Are we doing Second Kings after this?
I think so.
better.
I mean, that would be
Better?
terrible. He'd be very upset.
There's bears.
There's
That's
bears.
true.
Come on. We got to talk about the bears.
Listen,
Just
all the
losers.
On the show.
Just losers.
On like the
I like it.
What-
That's nice. When the kids all had lice, I shaved their accent.
I have to shave your
Back
beard though.
in.
Ooh.
Oh,
I don't know. I think Elisha probably still had some facial hair.
I don't know.
I don't know why we're speculating on this. That's my bad.
poor Scott was trying to move on.
explodes onto the scene is his
He
MO,
bursts,
right?
he like shows up and he's
Yeah.
suddenly there. It is his MO because like it's funny because the story starts and it's like Elijah's just there. There's no introduction. There's no backstory.
We just finished going through a litany of kings that ends with Ahab being the worst. And next verse
is Elijah showed up. Nobody knows who he is.
It's not going to rain.
Yeah.
It's not going to rain until I say.
He's from, where is he? He's from like a different region too. Like he's from nowhere. And he does the same thing. The next two stories, like he shows up in other cities and it's like, he's just there.
Yeah.
It's how he does it.
But a great introduction though is to get an audience with the king,
How did he do that? I mean, he's a nobody from nowhere and he just showed up at the king's door.
But it points to how much it was taking, it was not heard because he said this to the king. It's not going to rain until I say so. This is God's judgment. And then a bunch of time passes and Ahab goes, who was that again? Where is he? Why it's not raining?
Yeah. Yes, he
Meanwhile, Elijah is hiding in a ravine.
Meanwhile, in the cave.
Yeah, he's hiding in a ravine, he's being fed by ravens. He's drinking from a stream. The stream dries up.
But that's why he has to go to the next place because the stream dries up.
Finds a widow who's collecting some branches to make the last bread for her and her son. Before they die, Elijah, as he again bursts onto the scene.
He does just burst, explodes on the scene. Yes. He shows up. He's there.
He says, "Hey, make me a sandwich."
She says, "This is all I have. We're
I'm
gonna eat this,
die,
and then we're gonna die."
And then he says,
"Give me a sandwich first. My sandwich comes first, and then you can feed your family."
For some reason, she does it. Probably that, if you're ever going to spit in a sandwich, that is the time. So the little bit of flour and oil that was going to be the last doesn't run out.
And then he stays with them.
And then son dies.
Yeah.
And then Elijah, he gets a little whiny. What, all of this and now the son dies?
Well, the woman, he stays with them. The woman blames him. He's you're a man of God and you're here and now this is what you do to me. Yep. You've been here for a bit. So they trust him. Elijah
prays and this son comes back to life.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a notable.
I know, but I do enjoy how he gets mad at God first.
Yeah, for sure.
But Abraham, it was fun because, you do look at that in the Old Testament. Abraham got mad at God, Moses, people get mad at God. Yep. And, you've made me do all this, and now?
Yeah. So then he leaves and he bumps into a person who's connected to the king, goes, "Hey, I'm going back to see the king," and then he freaks out because the messenger says, "Listen, if I go back to Ahab and say that I found you and then I can't find you, he's going to kill me. No, I'll come. I'm coming." And then,
on my way.
And then it goes very quickly from a meeting Ahab to saying, "All right, let's have a showdown. You got your prophets of Baal. They're pretty cool. You got hundreds of them, and me, and so it's all very logical." Or not. Let's build an altar. Let's not start it on fire. We'll see who's the real God. The prophets of Baal it's the best smack talk moment in Scripture. The prophets of Baal are cutting themselves and screaming, trying to get the fire going, and Elijah lounging, just hey, maybe he's on the net. Maybe he's
having a plumbing issue.
Having a plumbing issue.
He's got to go to the bathroom.
Yep. And Elijah soaks digs a trench, fills it up with water, all this stuff. And then there's the most anticlimactic prayer ever.
Yeah. A little less mad at God.
Fire. and it consumes it and all of the altar and everything. He gets from that. He all of a sudden is like super charged because he sees like it's going to rain now. There's no cloud, no cloud, no cloud, and then all of a sudden he sees a cloud the size of like a hand. There it is. Ahab starts riding back to Jezebel I don't know if it's to the city or whatever it is. Elijah's running along with the chariot. It's like he's got this pumped moment.
Yeah, running with the chariot.
Yeah. And then the next line right here it's after all this has happened, Jezebel goes, "You punk, so help me, you're gonna die. I'm gonna kill you." And then all of a sudden, after all of that, he runs away scared. And that's not the end of the story. Maybe we just finish telling it like that. I think that my brain says if I would have 1/10 of any one of those experiences, I would never not trust God again. That's what my brain says.
No.
And the reality
of that to be true?
No, the reality of my life is that I apparently don't trust God.
I think it's interesting because like this moment, like Elijah has like been living on adrenaline. Like he just goes, like he shows up at the king, he shows up and the ravens feed him. He goes to the widow's house and then she blames him and then he gets mad at God. And then we have this moment where they were worshiping Baal and the whole thing is on fire. And it's like, how is Jezebel the thing that breaks him? Like, how is her being, like, I feel like there's obviously we don't have all of it, but it's like, was he just like overwhelmed, feels like he's facing something he can't beat? What happened that Jezebel is the thing that just sends him over the edge?
I mean, she has a track record of killing the people of God. So,
she does.
That's something. But also, I don't think starvation is a thing, and the prophets of Baal or something. So it just is it. The narrative and what happens here really points out just such a deep thing that's probably in all of us in humanity is that there one like subtle shift of perspective, a little bit of creeping in of doubt or fear, and it's very easy to run away from trusting God or to not have it.
It's hard for me here because I feel like he did run away because he had reached some sort of breaking point. But the whole time, like, he's there and he's being taken care of.
Yeah.
There's food there, there's water, angels there, and the journey, it's like in verse 7 it says, "Get up and eat, for the journey is too much for you." And it's like,
running away.
Yeah, he ran away and then he's being taken care of.
Yeah. And finally, he gets to the middle of nowhere in a cave, and then God comes gently and first asks him a question. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And then God, it's very gracious. He goes, "Hey, I'm about to pass by," and then the chaos hits. It's like there was an earthquake. God wasn't in the earthquake. There was fire. He wasn't in the fire. And then in this little whisper, God's presence passes by. And again, the question in that whisper, this gentle whisper, is, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And then, Elijah has his reasons, his excuses, his fear. He's the only one left. But then Jezebel's going to kill me. And God says, go back the way which you came. And I don't know. I've always really loved this narrative because I feel my ability to not trust God after repeated interaction. And then I think like the thing that I hope for, I think the character of God that I really need in those moments, and I see in this, is this gentle, because doubting, as we talk about it, like a remedy for people in our communities, our neighbors, or people that don't even follow Christ, is the remedy to doubting God is not to scold or shame or prove or all that stuff. Yeah. It's here God would say, it's just in a whisper to take one step of faith again.
Yeah. Well, and even before that, like when he was exhausted and afraid and like he sent people to care for him. He didn't just Elijah didn't just run away and then was left on his own. Yeah. He wasn't on. Why did you say that word? It got me a little teary. Like he even says, he's like, "Take my life. I'm no better than my ancestors." Like God took care of him when it was just, it felt over. felt exhausted. And I also love that right after this, he also connects with Elisha. Like he found at the end of this chapter, it's like Elijah went from there and found Elisha, son of, I don't know how to say that, but it was like he didn't have to do all this by himself.
Yep. Not abandoned.
No.
He's
trying to get tears out of me. I'm ignoring him. I can do it.
Well, all of this just points to some of the complexity of trust. We're going to do a quiz or whatever they are. I actually did some changes on it. I meant to bring them in here, but I think there is a perspective. Maybe I don't think it's just me, but there is a perspective that lots of people trust. Everybody trusts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one who doesn't trust. I'm the only one that has questions or fears or insecurities, and I don't think that's true. Even the hero Elijah.
Yeah, and I think like it's good that we're talking about trust, but I also think like when we keep going back to who God is in this, I think when I struggle with trust or knowing what to do or all these things, there's a lot of like self-judgment that happens, why is this so hard? Why don't I understand? Why do I not know? And it's like, there isn't judgment in this moment. He sent an angel to be with him. He wasn't alone. And he asked him gently, what are you doing here? It wasn't even that question, like I can read it and be like, it seems like a judgmental question, but it is like, it's a question. Like if you take all of the preconceived ideas of what that means, if somebody asks you gently, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like there isn't judgment in it. It's what's happening.
So I love the whole God passing by thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so there is and maybe there's some depth to process in this, but like if God asked the question in an earthquake, what are you doing here? Like I feel like I've heard that earthquake question. If God asked it in a burning fire, but then God passes by in this whisper. And so like that's the context. Like, how do we know that God asked this gently? It's because it's built this picture of him being in this whisper, this gentle, unexpected thing.
And he does come, like in this moment he comes gently, but in the old, you see, I mean the fire, like he comes in big ways sometimes too. Yep. It's not just always gentle. And this is
burn the altar.
Yeah, he just burnt the altar and the whole mountainside.
Yep.
And so this is a caring, loving God moment where he is caring for the person that he's called to do really hard things and not leaving him alone in it.
So if any of us are ever in hard moments where you feel alone,
it's fine. I'm fine. I don't know why he's looking at me.
I wasn't.
Greg, you looked like you had a thought. Did you not?
No.
Okay. I just don't want to miss it if you do, because you and I always feel different things. So
I hear I feel like I bring it up all the time, but I hear the Genesis moment of Adam and Eve hiding.
Yeah.
And God saying,
me
where
too.
are you?
Yeah.
I hear that. I think that character of God is the same.
Mm-hmm.
The where are you to what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that could have been his next question in the garden, and it might be like he was like, "Where? Oh, there you are. Why are you? What are you doing here?
Yeah. What are you wearing?"
See, but even then, we're like adding a little judgment to the tone.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know if like it is a judgment moment. Like maybe he really is like, Elijah, what are you doing here? I'm hiding. I'm scared. Oh, I'm fine. I can do this.
It should be as Christians or followers of Christ, it should be maybe that's the posture we should have with the people around us.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing there?
And I think something like I've seen over and over again is when people are going through hard times, they do hide. Mm-hmm. They run away. Like I know when there's somebody I haven't seen for a while, I'm always like,
I have a really good friend who's been asking a lot of Bible faith questions. Mm-hmm. He's never attended church in his life, but I played disc golf with him yesterday, and we were just talking about, okay, why are you feeling these things? What are you processing? He's like, I've been kind of surrounded by Christians my whole life, but they've always been like super preachy. And I feel like anytime anybody's been like I always feel like they're trying to get me to do something, or they have an answer for me. And I was like, and then I read this, and I'm like, oh, that's not how God approached Elijah when he was struggling or processing or going through a hard moment. So just like maybe it'd be more helpful to a lot of people in our lives if we stop pretending like we had all the answers and just ask the question, what are you doing here?
Yep.
Like, so being able to just ask him like that same question. Why did you reach out? What are you processing through?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and then all of these qualifiers, like I said, so what are you doing here? Go back. But this time when you go back, and just make sure you don't when you go back, and all these, it wasn't that. It was just the simple call was, this question of, oh, yeah, what?
Wouldn't it be easier if you gave him all the answers though? Like,
Yeah, and
go back and you'll be fine.
There's a friend for you.
Yeah.
But when he does send him
He
back,
also has the same name as you.
he doesn't send him back. Yeah, he also, but he says like in 18, I reserved 7,000 in Israel. Like there's a remnant of people, and then he sends Elisha to be with him. Like he sent him back, but I also think he knew the needs.
And then the thing that he was worried about, dying, doesn't happen.
He doesn't even die.
Never.
He just takes a chariot to heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that points to that intense perspective.
Now, if he would just do that, the thing you're most afraid of will never happen.
That's funny.
I think that
I never thought about that.
Yeah. He runs away because
let's go find him.
He's got to be somewhere. What were you going to say?
I don't know. No.
It's gone.
His fear, and I think that, when we do our exercise quiz thing, like there are a lot of things that people have distrust of, and it leads to a lot of reciprocating impact. And, he had these like mountaintop moments where even when he was alone, lots of power, but then all of a sudden he was reminded that he was alone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't true. And that as he ran away, and that was really his complaint. I'm the only one left.
Yeah.
I'm the only one. And I don't know necessarily God's tone in that, but I like, what are you doing here? I go back. I'm all alone. He's like, you're not
alone.
You're not alone.
You're alone in your.
I know that you guys
house
always hear God in a little harsher tone than I do, because I think I'm more fragile. So I'm always like, he's like, no, you're not alone. You're okay.
Oh no, the gentle whisper is real. But in the conclusion I hear the gentle whisper. What are you doing here, you dummy?
Oh, see, that's what I mean.
In love, yeah.
You've called me that before.
Yes, in love, most of the time. But just that moment of, what are you doing here? It's not even like the thunder could have said, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And it would have felt different.
Yeah.
But the whisper of, what are you doing here, idiot? Like, it's not actually there, but it is when it's like, it's set up for you. What are you doing here? Go back.
But it's interesting that there's this dichotomy, because he's just gotten done experiencing, this firestorm where everything was the altar, the stones were burned up. And then when God does actually, pass by and reveal himself to him, it's basically the antithesis of that. Mm-hmm. He does the earthquake, he does that, all that other stuff. And he's like, no, not necessarily here, not here, here. Mm-hmm. After this has just happened. So God's, kind of giving him the whole experience, Mm-hmm. He just, burned everybody up, and I can't even imagine what that was like. I mean, it was just, a literal firestorm, but then he comes back, and that's where he reveals himself.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Yeah.
Rich, you want to close by talking about that trust stuff or other?
I will, but I just saw something that I didn't think about. When Elijah heard it, the gentle whisper, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out and stood in front of the mouth of the cave. In my head, it was because there was a storm out there.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not. It's because he knew that in the whisper was God, and he could not, he needed to cover his face to be in God's presence. Yeah, but the conclusion here, we talk a little bit about the 5 elements of trust that Henry Cloud puts out, which are character, motive, ability, track record, and understanding. Which I had one written wrong. And it's just so interesting to look at this, because Elijah had every opportunity, every moment that he could just trust God. He could literally sit there and go, oh, I trust you. I saw this happen. The bread didn't run out. The widow's son, all of these things. And then the one little thing, he went, ah. And it's that moment of, you can have all those things, you can see all those things in someone else, and sometimes you still don't trust them. Mm-hmm. And that's for us, the application point here is we can absolutely see all of those things in God, Like Greg talked about, God's character from Genesis to Kings, like is consistent. Like we see all these things, and we can still go,
Nah.
Nope. And I think that like we need that moment of what are you doing here?
Yeah.
That moment of what, and sometimes for us, it says in here for Elijah, there was an earthquake, the Lord was in the earthquake, there was wind, he wasn't in the wind, there was fire, he wasn't in the fire, all these things, he was in the gentle whisper. And for us, I think looking at it, sometimes our gentle whisper are the people around us. Sometimes our gentle whisper is reading a specific passage in scripture that we're brought to. It's like, oh crap. Sometimes our gentle whisper, and there's all these things, but God's presence is there.
Yeah.
And the big thing for us is that even when we go, oh, I don't think I could trust God right now, it's not a God issue, it's an us issue.
Yeah.
So that moment of go back.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, here we are. And then we can see, the Bible is not be like Elijah and everything. That's not what the Old Testament's for. But the Bible is showing us, hey, this is what happened with Elijah. God talked to Elijah. Elijah went back, and guess what? Elisha was there. Yeah. He was not alone.
Yeah.
And you see that in the moment of go back. And I don't know about you guys, but in my life, I see that where it's like, what are you doing here? Go back. And then you go back and go, oh, this is good. Yeah.
Surprise.
It's important.
See you guys next week.